basement of La Penta. This is WICR.
Hello, Iona College. Welcome back to the WICR Morning Show. I'm your host with the most, Jersey Joe, coming with Wednesday producer, Mr. Armand Medeo, and Ken Reichman is back in the studio. Armand, it's good to have you in. It's always nice to have backup on the morning show, so I'm glad to have you in this morning.
Yeah,
okay, sorry, go ahead, Armand.
No, it's always a pleasure joining you in.
There you go. I like the Ed Reed jersey today. It's a nice little touch. Good jersey right there.
Best defensive back all time.
There you go. So, before we get into it, I put out a tweet this morning. I said, dropping the hammer on Keith Olbermann this morning. Now, obviously, we always try to drop the hammer on at least one person during the morning show when I'm on. So today's victim is Keith Olbermann.
I'm keeping that hammer
you're
right where it is, Joe.
Well, see, the thing is, I was outnumbered.
Cocked and loaded,
I'm
brother.
usually outnumbered on the Monday morning show.
Yeah, I know. I'm
got,
outnumbered on the Wednesday morning show.
I've
That's
got my
how it
partner
goes.
in crime, Mr. Armand Medeo, here today, who will be the ultimate defender of truth, honesty, and integrity. And that's what we're all about. Like I say,
I am all of those, only when not talking about Godzilla.
and that's okay. I got my Godzilla out of me. It's out. It was last week.
Then
We're moving on from that. So, the big news coming from last night was obviously Keith Olbermann on his show, his late night show. What is it, Ken? ESPN2? I don't watch because I have better
I
things
understand.
to do.
You've got better things to do. What are you
Keith
watching?
Olbermann.
Division 4 water polo
Cricket,
every night?
Actually.
Yeah.
Cricket, yeah. So pretty much what Keith Olbermann said. I mean, obviously the headlines in baseball and right now are all about Derek Jeter as the tour. I mean, tomorrow night is the final game. We'll see him in Yankee Stadium, and obviously the media has just been driven by this. And of course, the one person who would have to come and rain on the parade is Keith Olbermann. Now,
my boy.
Before I actually say, first I will say what he pretty much said. Bash Derek Jeter. I mean, saying Derek Jeter's not one of the top 10 Yankees of all time. He's overrated. A lot of things that I just think aren't necessary. But before I actually say about that, I'll say about Keith Olbermann, one of the things why I just can't listen to the guy or I just have no interest in listening to him is because Olbermann is the kind of guy where his ratings aren't very good. You compare him, that's why ESPN has him on that late shift. His ratings just aren't great. So what I think a lot of times what Olbermann does is he says these wild things because that's the only way he gets word of mouth spreading. I mean, think about this Derek Jeter thing now. When's the last time that Keith Olbermann dominated the headlines before this? The only time his name pops up is when he says something ridiculous like this. So I don't know if this is actually what Keith Olbermann thinks. I would find it hard to because he does have knowledge. He knows his stuff. So I find it hard to believe this is actually what he thinks. I think this is just a ratings ploy, which unfortunately he has to do because no one wants to listen to the guy.
All right, Joe,
That's
you
my
need to
take.
relax.
That's my take.
That's first off. Second off, Keith Olbermann is the kind of man, by the way, who's been fired from every job he's ever had,
Yeah,
but
what
has
does that tell
still
you?
been able to get another one. That's how good he is at what he does.
That's how good he is.
Okay?
They just
He has
need
gone
content.
from prime time to prime time on every channel he's ever been. And when he got back to ESPN, they put him on the late shift to bring ratings to the late shift. And now they moved him to prime time ESPN2 to compete with SportsCenter, which he does wonderfully. So congratulations, Joe, for proving my point as Keith Olbermann as a ratings bulldog. As somebody who can bring
not
ratings
really.
somewhere where they don't belong, like late night ESPN2. That's not where ratings go, but you know what happened? People watched because it's Keith Olbermann, and you're right, he does know his stuff, and he knows what he's talking about, and he's a very, very, very
Not even
good
close.
sports fan.
The last time I heard Keith Olbermann's name this much was when he had this little battle with Francesa saying about how they competed for ratings. They really didn't compete for ratings.
Francisco blew him out of the water.
Francesa's still doing what he's doing pretty well. And where's Olbermann been? He's jumped ship a lot of times. It's honestly, I can't take it. I really can't. The thing I see about this is saying, obviously, first of all, let's kill this notion right away about Derek Jeter not being the top 10 Yankees of all time.
No, we can keep that notion.
The top 5 is unquestionably Ruth and Garrick are 1 and 2. They built the foundation. You can't touch
Mickey
them.
Mantle's number 2.
I don't know. I put Mantle 3.
Nah.
Then I go DiMaggio. Then I think after DiMaggio, you could put Jeter, you could put Barry, you could put either one of those at the 5 and the 6 spot. But the top 4 you can't touch. But you could put anybody you want after 5 and 6. But Jeter, there's no question he's 5 or 6. Berra or Jeter are 5 or 6. And I would have a hard time. I want to hear from Ken because you seem to disagree. What possible reason could you say? Who in your mind could possibly be before him? Of the top 10 Yankees of all time.
Of the top 10, I mean, listen, I know you guys don't want to compare pitchers and position players, and it makes sense. You know, it's not a totally disagreeable argument to not want to compare. But Mariano Rivera is, without a doubt, above Derek Jeter. Without even a question of a single grammar punctuation mark in my mind. Mariano Rivera is the best closer in the history of Major League Baseball. Derek Jeter's in the top 10 of best shortstops of this
top 3, top 10. Who's Cal Ripken and Honus Wagner? You got to check your baseball.
You're going to compare
facts
Honus Wagner and Derek Jeter right now. But if you're comparing Derek Jeter and Honus Wagner, then Derek Jeter should be number 2 of all-time Yankees. See, you can't stretch Honus Wagner and Derek Jeter into the same category.
Baseball is a sport that's built on numbers.
And then put Jeter in the back. On the back burner.
Listen, if you take away steroids or anything, I think A-Rod's the greatest shortstop of all time.
Yeah.
Okay, Armand, we'll forget you said that.
He's right.
If you take away steroids, say that never happened. A-Rod was the best shortstop.
And you know what? We're in it. I don't think people should vote for steroid users in the Hall of Fame.
I'm just saying.
But
that
you know what?
Agree on.
But you know what? They're gonna get in.
Yeah.
So let's
No, they're
stop.
not.
Yes, they are.
They
Barry
won't get
Bonds
in.
going to get in the next
No, he's
7
not.
in the next
He
6.
will not.
5,
There
6
is
ballots.
plenty. If he's
Without a doubt, is he getting in?
If he
Not
doesn't,
even
all these
no.
guys brought in so much money and revenue for the MLB, they got to put
They
him in.
won't.
He will get in, 100%.
If there's a certain time where you don't get a certain percentage of the vote, your name gets taken off
yeah, in
the
like
list forever.
45 years, he's fine. He'll get
No,
in.
it's not 45 years. It's a lot shorter than that. They shortened the length of
What is it,
that.
40?
No, it's not 40. I think it's...
Can you Google it?
Could, but I won't right now.
What?
But we'll
Joe.
get into... On the break, I'll do it.
All right, fine.
Right now, we're in the
Anyway.
action. We're in action.
Anyway, A-Rod is better than Derek Jeter. You could put him above Derek Jeter on the list of all-time
I don't think
greatest
you
Yankees.
can say because
Well,
this
skill-wise,
is a
I think A-Rod's
hypothetical.
better, but Derek Jeter's a better Yankee.
We've got to deal with
Yeah, but
the
that's
facts.
not. But are we arguing who's a better Yankee
Better
or
Yankee
who's a
or
better player?
Well, A-Rod's a better player.
Exactly.
Well, but we can't say that. That's a hypothetical.
No, it's the
We're
truth.
dealing with the facts.
No, yeah,
We're
A-Rod.
dealing with facts.
A-Rod would.
You don't know that. That's a hypothetical.
No,
The
with the
steroids-
He's got a better arm. He's got better glove.
With the facts, A-Rod is better than Derek
No,
Jeter,
with
Joe.
the
That's
facts.
what we're playing
The
here. We're
steroids.
playing
Almost
facts.
equally as great as
You
a
can't
hitter, too.
account for
Batting.
steroids.
Oh, sure you can. If
How?
you-
What are you going to subtract 20? Subtract one
It's
batting
all
average
hypothetical.
point? Subtract. What are you going to do?
I say it all the time. There's no, if you understand and you respect the game of baseball at all, you know the history of the game, you can't ever put the Alex Rodriguez, the Barry Bonds, any of those clowns in the same breath as a Derek Jeter, a Cal Ripken Jr. Those guys did it the right way. Their numbers are real. Alex Rodriguez's numbers are fake.
Joe, I
don't
agree
know.
with you,
These
though, is
players
the problem.
These players are still talented athletes.
Right.
Look
They
at
are.
people like Francisco Cervelli, Everett Cabrera. They take steroids and they're C-class players.
Joe, I agree with you that these players should not be glorified for what they've done. Right? I'm with you.
They're still good baseball
150%.
players. Even if they didn't take the steroids.
One-
I'm telling you, they still.
Yeah, they're still good baseball players. But number 2, Joe, is we live in a time where it doesn't matter anymore, Joe. It doesn't
matters
matter.
to me.
You need to get off your high horse,
I'm not getting off.
check the weather from the top of your ivory tower
I
before
see
you
the
climb
weather.
on down, and take a look at the real world, Joe. People don't care how many steroids you've been on. All they want to see is home runs and pop and great defensive plays, and that's what
Chicks
Alex
dig the long
Rodriguez.
ball.
Chicks dig the long ball, and you know what? Alex Rodriguez, regardless of the amount of beaver tranquilizers that he's taken in his lifetime,
Nah, he's one of the
is
greatest
better
players of all time.
than Derek Jeter.
I will still have to disagree. I will never ever. I am as adamant about my
I would
hate
take
of
roided up
steroids.
A-Rod on my baseball team 100 times before I took the greatest Yankee of all time,
Well, here's the thing.
Derek Jeter,
Maybe I just
to play for me.
Maybe I just hold myself and my athletes to a higher standard.
Yeah, we know.
than
You
some
demand
people do.
greatness, and you're going to lose every time because I got A-Rod playing shortstop all roided up, hitting 145 home runs
here's
in the
the-
first 20 games of the year.
Here's
A-Rod
the
on
real
Texas
shame.
was amazing.
Oh
Here's
my
the
God.
real shame. Well, he was on roids, so it doesn't really
All right, but look
count.
at A-Rod Seattle.
Doesn't matter.
Before,
He's
All
made
that matters.
more money than we'll ever see in our lifetimes,
And
Joe.
who cares about the money part?
Everybody can show me the money, Joe.
Who cares about
Show
the
me the money.
But A-Rod on Seattle did not take steroids, and he was
still
You don't
one
know
of the
that.
best
one of the
And we
best,
don't know
if
that.
not the
And we
best.
don't know that.
he started in Texas. His whole body demeanor changed. He gained like 30 pounds in weight.
Barry Bonds before he took. Who the hell knows when they start? But when Barry Bonds first came in the league, 30-30 guy with Pittsburgh.
No, Barry.
He wasn't a power hitter in Pittsburgh.
Barry
He was
Bonds was
30,
like 170 pounds.
He was like 5'4", 98 pounds. He's stealing 30 bases, hitting 30 home runs.
Yeah, and then to look at him in San Francisco, look at that head. Your head doesn't grow that big, folks. It really doesn't. Your head stays the normal size. But
A-Rod's head didn't get bigger.
the real shame.
Here's the question, though, Joe. This is the debate, though, that formulates Keith Olbermann's debate. A-Rod versus Derek Jeter. Me and Armand, I don't want to say we're right, but
No,
we might
you're
be
not.
right. Taking Alex Rodriguez. Now, here's the thing, though. You can't disregard Alex Rodriguez as a
you
baseball
absolutely
name.
can.
No,
You
Joe, you're
cannot.
not allowed.
No,
You're not
you
allowed,
can't.
Joe. Not in this time.
If you know what you're talking about, you can.
If it, Joe, I agree with your premise. I'm with you. However, I have stepped off the high horse. Okay,
I'm on the
I
pony.
have put an away message up on top of the ivory tower. Okay, it's done. They don't care about great character anymore. That's not a big deal. Who cares? It's over. Whatever. Finished. Great. Goodbye. Great. Grand.
Man.
Wonderful. Now it's on to making money, hitting home runs, and getting chicks to dig the long ball. Alex Rodriguez, Barry Bonds, Sammy
Alex
Sosa,
Rodriguez
Mark
did get
McGwire,
chicks to dig
all of
long
those
balls.
people.
I'll take Mickey Mantle. I'll take Derek Jeter. I demand accountability.
Well, you're gonna take
That's what I do.
You're gonna take accountability and pick Mickey Mantle,
Oh, here's the.
the drunkard of the early 1900s.
This is what really is dry. I mean, and this is the thing I think is a real shame about why Oberman had to say this for the ratings ploy that he did.
Okay.
Obviously, Derek Jeter.
We're not on here for the ratings, Joe, very clearly, and we're still agreeing with him.
Oh, I disagree. And, I mean, you guys are nuts, so that's why. But,
Oh, okay, yeah, we're
well,
not.
no, Armand's with me. I mean,
Armand's
except
with
for
you
the, except for
partially.
the Alex Rodriguez thing, which
I
is
love
total-
A-Rod. I'm an
total-
A-Rod fan.
You
I
are.
hate Alex Rodriguez with a burning passion.
Well, you wouldn't know that from the conversation
You
we had
wouldn't,
this
but
morning.
because
so.
you know why? Because I
your
don't
argument
care
makes no
about
sense.
character or grit or heart or love of the game on my baseball team.
A-Rod was
I
a
care
great
about winning
shortstop in
baseball
Derek Jeter.
games,
And
I
think
care
Derek
about
Jeter's done a
hits
lot of that.
and home runs.
Five World Series, one of the most consistent clutch hitters in MLB history.
What does that mean?
What does that
Define
mean?
for me clutch.
It's about
Joe.
results.
Define for me clutch.
Oh,
The
why
only
is
thing
this?
about Jeter that he has is that during the 7 appearances he has as a Yankee in the World Series, he batted a lifetime .320 career batting average in the World Series.
Cool.
So
There
I gotta
you
give
go.
him.
Good for
I
you.
gotta give him that.
There's a reason.
I'm not
his
taking
nickname's
anything
Mr.
away from
November.
Derek Jeter. He's a Hall of Famer.
One of the best.
He's
of all
one
time.
of the top 15 Yankees ever of all time.
Top 15.
See, that's
Top
just.
11, maybe.
I'm,
12.
Ken, I gotta call you out here. When you say things like that in the air, you lose all credibility with people.
Okay,
You really
Joe.
do. You say he's not
Joe,
in the top 15
you want to
of all
disregard
time.
Alex Rodriguez as one of
Yes.
the best shortstop powers in the history of
I
Major
will
League Baseball.
not acknowledge
And that's-
anybody
down
who
as
used
the best
steroids.
shortstop of all
I will
time.
not acknowledge anybody who used steroids
well,
ever.
you know what? When
You
they're all in the
can't
Hall
do
of
it.
Fame in 20 minutes
they're
from
not
now,
going to
you
be,
let me
so.
know how
Oh.
you still feel. Joe's going to be the guy sitting alone in a shack in a log cabin. He's got his old Derek Jeter jersey on. Everybody's rooting for A-Rod and Mark McGwire. And Joe's going, I remember the old days when it was all about grit and character. Now all they care about is the chicks digging the long ball. And that's why these screwies are in the Hall of Fame.
Well, I'm going to put you on the spot now, Ken. Still, I'm going, but I'm not staying
You
off
guys
the
are
top
going to
15.
bat, I'll
You
spectate.
tell me who are the 15 Yankees. If Derek Jeter is in the top 15, you name me the other guys who are in front of him. I want the names because if you're staying on this point, I'm calling you out on it.
Wait, are you
tell me?
counting? Wait. Are you counting positional players along with pitchers?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's how it has to be.
All right,
Tell
the
me.
only
I'm
pitchers
calling
that
you
could
out.
be better than Derek Jeter besides Mariano Rivera is maybe Whitey Ford.
100% Whitey Ford.
That's it.
Not
And
maybe.
Even
That's
that,
it.
I would not do
No
that.
David Cohn, no Andy
but-
Pettit.
But no,
Don't
Ken,
forget
stop
Mike
giving
Mussina.
Ken names. Stop giving
Mike
Ken names.
Mussina, no.
I'm
Don't
calling him
forget
out on
Roger
it.
Clemens.
I want another steroid guy. Get out of here. Give me the
Dude,
names.
you can't
Give me-
disregard the
No,
guy.
You're trying to get away from the point. You said he's not in the top 15. Give me the
I didn't
players
say
who
he
are better.
wasn't in the top 15.
You
I said he
did.
was in the top
We have
15.
it on the recording.
I said he was in the the top 15, Joe. I
Tell
said
me
he's not
if
in the
he's
top
in the top
10.
15
I said
and
he's
not.
in the top
Give me
11.
the names.
Okay, that
give
makes
me
him
the
number
names.
11.
I want the names.
I'm going to give you Olbermann's names.
Oh God, don't give his.
Oh, God,
that
yeah.
fool's
I'm
names.
giving Olbermann's
See,
names.
we're losing all respect as an organization
Oh, you
now.
need to get over yourself, Joe.
We're losing all
That's the
respect.
problem here is that you need to get over yourself.
No, I know. All
right.
I know what I'm talking about.
So here they are.
Go.
Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig. Done.
Yep,
Done.
no disagreement.
Mickey Mantle, Joe DiMaggio.
No disagreement.
Done. All right. Now, obviously, all
This
of
is
them are
where
up for debate.
Maybe
goes in.
Reggie Jackson.
No.
He wasn't as
Maybe.
much a.
He was a Yankee for
he
like 20
jumped
I'm
minutes.
saying
ship.
guys that could be comparable.
He was great as a Yankee, but
Exactly. Armand's saying names that are comparable in every
But no,
single
no,
one,
no, but
Joe.
I think Derek
You
Jeter-
disregard and throw off into the
No, I'm-
garbage chute of nothingness.
hey, stop
I'm
getting away
saying
from
there are
the point.
guys that
Keep
could
going.
compete with him, but I think Derek Jeter's ahead of them.
I agree with you.
But they're right there.
still in the same
Yeah,
category,
same
am I
boat,
right?
same boat, yeah.
So those people, Joe, who are in the same boat, according to everybody else in the world, are not even within consideration for you because what? Derek Jeter's got a lot of hits? What, because he plays a game with a lot of heart?
No, because I
Because
see.
he's the captain?
I've
number
seen
2
what
in your
he's done.
programs? Number 1 in your hearts?
Ken,
Derek Jeter?
You need to watch the games, Ken.
What?
When
No,
you
no,
see
no.
what the
Joe, we
what he
just went
does.
over this the other day. It's
Watch
not about
games.
watching the games,
It
Joe.
is
It's about the
watching
numbers of the games.
In baseball,
If your eyes
is.
and the stats don't match up, your eyes are wrong, not the stats, Joe.
I think but keep going because you're still trying to get away from
All
the
right.
point, and I'm still
All
wanting
right,
to hear.
so we had the Ruth, Gehrig, Mantle, DiMaggio.
No disagreement.
Okay. Olbermann also says, heaven forbid, Alex Rodriguez,
Yeah,
which me
take
and
him
Armand
off
agree
the
with,
list,
so
no
66%
steroids.
of the morning show
Anybody
agree
who
with.
knows who they're
I'm
talking
sitting here
about.
with my Jordan hands out. You know, I'm going like this. You know, one thing Jordan does.
Yeah, what do you? Yeah, so you're spectating. Now here are the
Oh, you
names
guys
that
are
Olbermann
right.
mentions: Thurman Munson,
No.
Willie Randolph,
No, Willie Randolph. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Holy Rand,
See,
that's when the Yankees were horrible.
Did
Greg
that-
Nettles,
that is the
maybe-
stupidest thing I've ever heard in
and
my
Mike
whole
Mussina.
life.
Mike
No,
Mussina.
good pitcher, Mike Mussina. See, that's a joke.
All right, where's
This is
Don?
why
Where's
you-
Don Mattingly in that?
He's in the top 11, 12 to 13, I would
Don
say.
Mattingly-
Maybe.
Now, what I
Mike-
want to know,
Good
though,
baseball player.
what I want to know, though, Joe,
Don Mattingly's better than Willie Randolph.
But see, you can't.
before
say-
we tear the guy apart,
I'm tearing you and him apart.
I
because you
understand, but
agree
you know
with
what,
him.
Joe?
Are you a Red Sox fan?
No.
Mets fan?
Yeah, but I don't care about the Yankees. I've got okay. Mets fans who hate the Yankees, I have totally misconstrued the idea of baseball. We play them 4 times out of 162 games. Hate the Reds. We play them 8.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pick a better team to dislike. What? Because they share the same bridge? Holy goodness! Get over yourself, Met fans.
What was that hashtag the other day? I'm a Mets fan because.
The Subway
Yeah,
Series.
that went
it's
really well.
stupid.
That
the
went
Subway
really well.
Series. Oh,
Let's get back
oh,
to the
we
point.
played them 4 times. They're so terrible.
The sixth train.
Here's
the
what I
Bronx.
want-
We hate the Bronx. Why do we hate the Bronx? We all live in the Bronx
Since
anyway.
we're talking
man.
about greatness, we've
Jeez.
talked enough about the Mets already. So I'm gonna say this: when you
see, what's that about, though?
When you
What's that about? That's a
include-
shot. Why are we taking shots?
Oh no, I like the Mets. I root for them. I do. I feel free. I
Oh,
have a
thanks, Joe.
I have a lot of Mets
We
fans.
appreciate
friends.
your pity.
Of course.
How's that $500 million and also
course.
an early golf season doing?
And here's what I'm gonna say:
You
if
jerk.
you ever put Greg Nettles above Derek Jeter in anything, I don't care if how you jog, I don't care if that's how you walk your dog. If you put Greg Nettles above Derek Jeter in anything,
If I ever
you
had a chance to walk my
don't
dog
know-
with Greg Nettles and
you're
Derek
just
Jeter,
lost.
I'm putting Nettles in front.
You're
right.
lost. You
That's
don't.
what I'm doing.
You lose all credibility talking about anything. I will just disregard whatever you say. To the fact that you would even put that out there just tells
Joe,
me
I
this
think
is a ratings ploy.
Joe, I
You're-
think we should really listen to what he said, because you don't know what he said.
you said
You're on
Greg
the you're
Nettles.
bashing the guy,
I am because you
but
said
you haven't listened to his argument.
You
I don't think
said-
that's right, Joe.
he put Greg Nettles above Derek
That's
Jeter.
what I said, but
That
you need
is
to listen
where
to the
I
man's
stopped
argument.
listening
No,
right
you
away.
can't- no, you got to
Ken,
listen
do
to
you
the
know who
argument.
Greg Nettles was?
Thank you, Joe.
Do you know who Greg
Yes,
Nettles
I know who
was?
Greg Nettles was.
So you
My mother's
think
favorite
Greg
player.
Nettles is a better, deserves to be higher on the top Yankees of all time than Derek Jeter? Because
Joe,
if you do,
I don't know the argument for or against.
Tino Martinez. My boy.
That is just
John Oliver.
the most ridiculous thing.
Let's just name
and I know the
Yankees.
people who are
Bernie
listening
Williams,
who know what
honestly,
they're
is probably
talking
the
about.
overdue.
Bernie Williams should be in the top 15 Yankees all time.
Yeah, he
Bernie
should.
I would put Bernie over Jeter.
See,
No.
then again, you're just trying to defend your argument with
That
ludicrous
has his problem
statements.
with Derek Jeter.
See, you're
I don't
the
have a
thing is,
problem with Derek Jeter.
You're
He's tall, he's
standing.
first ballot Hall of Famer. He's got like 100,000 hits. The guy's good, but you know what? We're riding this guy's coattails as he sails off into the sunset of nothing. He's fine. He's not dying. He'll be around. He'll be a TV analyst in 30 minutes after he retires because he's gonna get bored of sending women gift baskets after he sleeps with them and gives them a signed baseball and a bat to go look the other way when he goes away. Okay? Derek Jeter, he's fine. He's great. He's wonderful. Hall of Famer, great baseball player. Cool. Goodbye. We'll see you later, Derek. He'll be back, guys. Calm down. We're buying tickets for $500,000 to watch a man play baseball. That's the more important thing, is people are actually legitimately spending $500,000 to go watch Derek Jeter hit 3 times and field 2 ground balls for 9 more innings of New York Yankee baseball. Who cares? Donate the money. Give it to charity. I'm hungry. Let me eat.
Hey, here's what I'm gonna say
Did
now.
you drink a lot of coffee this morning?
I had nothing.
When you have a sport like baseball that has suffered so badly from lack
You're right.
of
You need to tear every
Jeter
last
has
tear
done-
out of every old Yankee fan.
has
who saw Derek Jeter
epitomized
appear
what-
trying.
Tear down this
Jeter has
wall.
epitomized what we want in sports from our athletes
You're right.
on and off the field.
You're
and
right.
he deserves to go out like this. When Michael Jordan was leaving the NBA twice, it was this and just times 5. I mean, and Michael Jordan doesn't have the character of Derek Jeter. You look at Michael Jordan, the way that he left the Bulls.
The buzzwords.
I know we all like to kill LeBron when he left. In Tim Grover's book, who was Michael Jordan's trainer, MJ actually told Grover after he won one of the championships to start preparing him training wise for baseball. So Jordan knew he was leaving for baseball way before he made the retirement. So I know we all like to kill LeBron and stuff. So Jordan is not the epitome of off the field character. Jeter, you just look at him.
Buzzword.
When have you ever heard anybody say he's been a bad teammate? No
Never.
teammate you've ever heard.
Joe, but this isn't. You can't.
But
you
I'm saying
can't
you're
tell me
knocking the
somebody's
way
the
they're
greatest.
celebrating this whole thing.
Yes,
And
because
he
you know what?
deserves
You
it.
can't have Derek Jeter Day when Derek Jeter Day is
No,
still during
you-
Derek Jeter season.
Derek Jeter has earned the right over his career,
No.
doing things the right way, being the best ambassador for the game we've ever seen.
No.
He's earned the right to go out this way. And if you say otherwise, it just doesn't. You just don't know it.
The point of sport.
Stats.
No. The point of sport is that one team wins and one team loses. Right?
Some
Derek
things
Jeter's
are a
a
little
winner,
bit
though.
bigger than
Yes, he is.
just winning and losing championships, and that's where Derek Jeter
that's where
comes
me,
into play.
Joe. That's where me and you.
Well, we disagree on a
We
lot
disagree.
of sports things. and-
Because
Well, listen, we can
when I
bring
make
this-
my sports team, Joe, when I conjure it up out of the nothingness that I have, I will win, and you will have a bunch of character-filled heart men.
Well, I'm also a better talent evaluator
Oh.
than you, so probably not. Because I watch the games all the time, everything, so...
Yeah, well,
there
you know what?
go.
You watch the games. I'll read the stats, and my team will probably, do pretty well.
So winning is
Yeah,
not
you-
everything. Look, we can bring this argument to football. Dan Marino, arguably the greatest quarterback ever, never won a Super Bowl.
See, but you know what? Why is he the greatest quarterback ever?
He's not the
Because he had
greatest
one of the most-
quarterback ever.
Because
He is.
The greatest of all time? No.
Easily top 3.
Oh, he is in the top 5
Top
for
2,
me.
no, top 2.
I-
Right behind Joe Montana. It's better
Brady-
than Johnny Unitas.
Brady-
better than Brady.
Brady,
As a
Manning, and
quarterback
Montana for
overall.
me.
Look at that Dolphin team between 81 and 99. Dan Marino had nothing. They had a
long stretch.
mediocre defense. They had a very mediocre defense, and they had absolutely no run game. Dan Marino would
Here's the...
light up the Patriots and Jet defense. Everyone was scared of Dan Marino because of his talent, his arm, his pocket presence. He would sling it everywhere. He had a great arm.
I don't want to go too much into this,
Joe
but
Montana had a dream team.
here's what I want to say, because I don't want to get too much in this, but I agree with you. He's in my top 5. The only reason I have Brady, Manning, and Montana above
No,
him...
not Manning,
The
please.
Super Bowl ring is what puts them above him.
oh, Joe, I
It
thought
is.
winning wasn't everything. Put them back,
Yeah,
Joe.
you did say that
Everything is
before, winning
Come on, I didn't
circumstantial.
think winning mattered anymore.
No, you did say
You're
winning is
acting like,
everything
though,
before.
Ken, that that every circumstance
All
is
right,
the same. Circumstances change
Peyton
in every
Manning's
situation.
one ring doesn't mean nothing.
We're not getting into this. We're
Doesn't
talking about
mean
Derek
nothing.
Jeter this morning. That's a story for a different day.
Come on,
That's a
you're going to
story for
compare a guy
different-
because he has one ring is above Dan Marino just because of one ring?
Dan Marino was a phenomenal quarterback, one of the best of all
Listen,
time, but there's a point
with you.
sometimes where the
He had a
stats
crappy
and things.
team.
He would, but even Montana, I mean, Marino got to
Montana
that.
had a dream team. Brady had one of the best defenses
I agree,
when they won the
but
Super Bowl. He won because of defense.
Come on.
Marino got
Manning's
to
got
that one
two, is
Super
he?
Bowl.
No.
We're not. We'll save this for another day because we could get into a lot of football. But this is just the. I mean, like I've been saying. I mean, the true people. You know it. I mean, Derek Jeter. He deserves the way things are going for him right now. He's earned it over his career. The thing. You look at Magic Johnson too. Look at the way things that went out with him in the NBA. Did he deserve to play in that All-Star game really after his absence? No. But they rewarded Magic Johnson because he was a great ambassador for the game. He saved the game of basketball. In the 70s, the NBA was dying.
You gonna tell me
Who
Derek
came
Jeter
in-
saved the game of baseball?
In this era of lack of
In this era, it's on
character
its
and
way out. He's
steroids,
doing a really bad
yeah,
job of
right.
saving the game.
Nobody
If
would say
saving
that.
the game is doing CPR for 14 hours, just barely keeping a heartbeat, he's doing great. But if saving the game is actually bringing it back to life, he's not doing so hot.
You can't put all of the baseball's troubles on the Major League
Well, then you
Baseball.
can't give
should
all
play
of
in the-
baseball's praises to him either. You can't pick and choose.
He deserves a lot of credit for it.
I agree with you, but not while he's playing. Let the guy retire, and then you go back and you give him praise. That's how it goes in sports.
All I know is right now, it's
I
just,
felt the
it's
same
not a
thing about
question.
Mariano Rivera. It's ridiculous.
I've never talked to anybody. I mean, now like you have the Keith Olbermans, and it's a very small minority of people who think that Derek Jeter is overrated. He's not one of these top 10 Yankees of all time. Ridiculous. I mean, it's a small minority, which just goes to show you that the eye test, watching the games, understanding what his significance has been to the game, to sports in general, you know what he did, and he's being rewarded for it. And that's all you really need to know. Enjoy the last couple of days you have of it, because we're never going to see it again. And the thing I was saying on the Sports Vault the other day is we've only known one number at shortstop for as long as our generation has been around. We've only known, it's
13.
been one of the most consistent things we've ever seen is 2 at shortstop. And we will never see another guy to win 5 World Series and do the things that they did in that span. I believe Jeter only had 2 seasons during that span, regardless of injury, where he hit below 279. I mean, he was a consistent 300 hitter, one of the most consistent
And so is
players
David Wright.
you'll ever see. Oh, yeah, okay. See, now you're just ruining it.
But
But
David Wright plays the game the right way.
he's a good player, David Wright.
He
but
plays
you
the
look
game
at
the right
him,
way. He's good
his
on and off the
numbers have
field.
been declining.
Yeah, but so what, Joe? He's got a
No,
lot of character,
We're
man.
not talking about David Wright.
No,
because
but
this
hold
is
on.
about
No,
Derek Jeter.
we're counting these intangibles, Joe. He is a great ambassador for the game of baseball.
You can't put David Wright in the same
Why
conversation.
not? What's the difference between
There's
their
no-
ambassador role?
What's the flash with you? I mean, you poll people. Derek Jeter, again, it came out today, best-selling MLB jersey of all time. He's a more recognizable face than David Wright. David Wright is a good
Because
guy.
the women
a
buy
good
his
player.
jersey.
He's a good guy and a good player, but you can't equate him to the popularity in the just generating.
He'll be the
discussion.
longest tenured New York player when Jeter retires. New York.
He's a good player.
In New
What do you
York.
want to say?
All of them. Count them up. New York, baby. The whole shebang. The whole gaboing.
What's New York about, though? New Yorkers are
New York's
as
about
tough
character and
sports
grit, or is it
fans.
about winning, Joe?
New York's exactly. New
What's
York
it about?
fans
You
are
tell
about
me.
winning more than anything else.
So why is it?
New York's about high taxes. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, there you go. Alright,
Listen,
wow.
another news,
We've
the
been on
Turk
this
is
for
dead.
40 minutes.
Al-Qaeda-linked terror group says their leader died in a Syria airstrike.
Jeez.
Jeez. Well, we've been on this for about 40 minutes, so I want to give us a breather there. A lot of good stuff on the morning show there. I'm really glad that I could just dispel all this ludicrousy.
Yeah, that
from
went well
Ken.
for you there, Joe.
We're not gonna talk about the Turk
I
being
won
dead?
it. It was not
We'll get
even
there.
close. I mean, that was just ludicrous. Like I said, anybody who knows what they're talking about, you know your stuff.
You're
you
right.
know who's right.
No,
in
you're
the
right, Joe.
conversation. It's
A
true.
paid primetime TV analyst is no comparison to you. I'll tell you that.
Oh, Keith Olbermann certainly is not.
No, not
I
even a shot.
am
Right?
an honesty broker, folks.
Yes, we know
Telling
you're
it-
an honesty broker. And 3 days ago, you were lying out the
telling it
the behind.
the way it is, folks.
Blowing smoke up
Thank
everybody's
you.
behind, Joe.
Thank you for listening, guys. We will
Listen,
be
Alex
right back.
Rodriguez is the
Got a
great-
Alex
lot of
Rodriguez
stuff
is
to
still
talk
better than Derek Jeter.
And that's where we mute your mic because
As
that's
of-
excluded. But thank you for listening, folks. We will be right back.